It is the most wonderful time of the year. We are nearing Christmas, which means we are just one day away from the 4th annual Pelham Christmas Parade. I'm Kyle O'Neill, honored to be joined by two of the biggest organizers of the parade, City Council members Chad Leverett and Rick Walsh. Now, before we get started, guys, how are you doing today?
Doing great.
Now, before we get into all the details of the parade, can y'all tell us a little bit about yourselves and what it is that you do when you're not busy preparing for the parade?
Sure, I can go first. My son, he plays a lot of rec ball here in Pelham, and so we were at a basketball practice last night. We'll be at a basketball game tonight. My day job is I work for a company called NiSource, and it's a natural gas and electric company up in the north, and so I work in data governance, so I work with a lot of data and organizing data. So.
My name is Rick Walsh. I'm the co-founder of Pelham Strong with Chad, and Pelham alumni, got 6 kids that all graduated from Pelham High School, and been a lifelong Pelham resident. Love Pelham. Is one of the reasons that we founded Pelham Strong the way we did. When I'm not doing city stuff or planning and organizing things for Pelham Strong, I work for a company here locally called Research Solutions. They're a chemical and solvent company, and I run their specialty chemical division of that company.
So you've mentioned Pelham Strong, and we know y'all are the founders of it. Can we go back a few years and can y'all talk about how it came to be, since it is one of the organizer of the parade?
Sure. Back in 2020, when we had the last city election, actually Chad and I ran against each other for the same city council seat, and we didn't know each other at all going into that. And but through the time of us running together, we got to be pretty good friends and really leaned on each other during that time and really helped each other. Matter of fact, the day of the actual election, to show unity in the city, he and I went and ate lunch together.
Wow.
On the day of the election, we're running against each other, so it's pretty unique.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there's times in life that you meet people and you just have kind of a kindred soul with that person. It's like you've been friends for a long time, and he and I just hit it off. And so we said, you know, hey, no matter how this turns out, we're going to always remain good friends. Well, in that election, I ended up winning. And so after that, one of the things that had come up during that time is Chad had come to me and he said, hey, Rick, has people ever talked to you about a Christmas parade in Pelham? I said, oh, yeah, man, they beat that horse to death for years trying to be able to do it. And we've never been able to pull it off because it's hard to get the city to support it. It's a big endeavor, as you can imagine, Kyle. And so I said, but I'll tell you, whichever one of us wins that seat on the city council, we need to really push. And so through that, we decided, after I got on the council, he and I talked about it, and we thought that the best way to do this was to create a nonprofit that not only could organize and push and make sure that we did the Christmas parade, but could really unify the city. You know, one of the things that I grew up here and went to school here, and I graduated from Pelham High School. And back in those days, I mean, you knew everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I knew all my neighbors, and you go to the ballpark, and you knew everybody at the ballpark. And nowadays,
a smaller town.
Yeah, it's like a small town, you know, and really community. And nowadays, you know, people don't even know who their neighbor is that lives right beside them. And so we've lost something in our society. And so, you know, our thing is that we wanted to do something that we could give back and really do things that were really community-minded and really kind of brought our community together. And so he and I formed Pelham Strong. And so that's really what Pelham Strong does. It does that with the Christian-based emphasis on everything we do. And nothing better to center all that around than the birth of Christ. And so that's how we founded Pelham Strong.
Well, it's definitely had a big impact on the community. I know you mentioned a lot of people asked for it. A lot of people attended every year. What kind of impact do you think Pelham Strong has had on the parade? And how do you use the parade to make people aware of the nonprofit?
Boy, you know, Pelham Strong has really grown over the last 4 years, and we started off small. The first year we did the parade, we really weren't even sure. You know, we were inventing all this. You know, Chad and I, either one we had zero parade experience. Okay, I'm a retired police officer from here in Pelham, and so I knew a little bit about traffic control and about stuff like that, but as far as planning a big event like this, I mean, he and I were definitely by the seat of our pants. And so it's a lot of trial and error. And but through huge support from the city and the community and the schools, it really kind of brought everybody together for a community event. You know, we don't take the credit for any of that. We kind of, matter of fact, we worked really, really hard to stay out of the limelight and to let the community and the city benefit from the publicity and from the goodness of that, you know, and it really brings great goodwill, to our community. You know, it's like I tell people all the time when we did the parade the first year, and I say it every year since then, you know, people that are helping us organize this, and it takes an army to do this. You know, I tell people all the time, I said, I want you to look at it from the eyes of a 10-year-old. And that's the way we want everything to be. So we want it to be fun. And we want it to be all about kids and all about the family. And so
the fun part of it is what brings the community together.
Yeah, and that's really what Pelham Strong's all about, you know. And so from that, we've been able to branch off, and we do a big toy drive that we've done for the last couple of years. It has really, really grown. And we've been able to do several other things in our community to help the community.
And real quick, if you're not careful, Rick will talk us all the time. So I just wanted to, I just wanted to add, you know, that through the Christmas parade and the awareness that Pelham Strong has brought to the community, we've been able to do things like scholarships for seniors here at the high school. Rick mentioned the toy drive, where we started out working with just the Pelham school system, and last year we brought on the Kiwanis Club, the Fraternal Order Police, and the River Chase Church of Christ, and we expanded that to the whole county. And we helped 131 kids for Christmas in the county last year, and we're doing the same thing again this year. But we do so many other things in the community to help people that we won't go into, because all those things are kind of kept private. But through that, businesses have recognized and been able to help us financially, which helps us help Pelham residents. All the money that's raised by Pelham Strong goes to the city of Pelham and the community of Pelham. I'm talking about sponsors like Vulcan Steel Products, Colonial Pipeline, the Pelham Church of God, and some big contributors, Loader Services. We've just got so many companies that see the benefit of having an organization like Pelham Strong and want to be part of that. And so to learn more about that, you can go to pelhamstrong.org and learn more about what we do and the community events that we have. We partner with the Rec Center in May and do a Walk for Christ and a 5K run, and we do a home run derby that only rec kids can be a part of. You know, nothing wrong with doing travel ball and different things like that. But trying to promote that community spirit, you know. So just wanted to add some of those things that Pelham Strong's been able to do.
Yeah, so when it comes to any annual event like this, you're always looking to make improvements. So how do you look to make improvements in the parade? And with this being the fourth one, what specific improvements can we look for in this year's parade?
So what we try to do is each year we come up with a theme for the parade. I know we talked about that before we went on air, about last year being Christmas around the world. And so we had purchased a snow globe that we weren't able to put out last year because of the rain, but it's looking like we're going to be able to bring that out this year. It's about 14 feet high. It's going to have balloons inside it with air oscillating around.
Wow.
So you and your family can get inside and get a picture like you're in a snow globe. And so that's cool. But this year, Christmas past and Christmas present, we went back and forth on what we were going to do, and there's a company called the Shutter Bus, and they've taken like a 1960s Volkswagen bus or van, and they've retrofitted this thing to a photo booth, and you can get your photo taken. And you young guys aren't going to remember this. Rick might, since he's an old dinosaur like me. But when we were kids, we could go and we could sit in a photo booth that would print out black and white photos on a little bookmark. And so you'll be able to do that in this Volkswagen Beetle. You'll also be able to text your photos to yourself and email them. So we got the present age digital atmosphere to that too. And something that we haven't announced on the page yet about Christmas present is we purchased a 360 photo booth. And so that'll be there. And so you can be standing on the platform and choose video and circle that thing around you and add some different things to it, you know, like a Santa hat or whatever you want to add to it. And then you can text that to you. So each year we try to add something that's relevant to that theme to keep people coming back and enjoying themselves. So it's going to be a load of fun, a lot of things for people to enjoy. We're going to have Candy Cane Lane, and I already know that Park and Rec is going to have a game for everybody. Half Shell Oyster House is going to have some catfish that you can have that they're going to be serving up. So it's going to be really fun.
The other thing we're going to do is one of the things that we found last year is, graciously the city opens the whole city civic center to this event, and so they offer all the amenities that they have. So they give free skating to all the kids. And one of the things that we ran into last year and the year before is the skating filled up so quick, and so many people were going out to skate that they ran out of skates. And so this year we decided that we were going to open all the skating up early.
Oh, wow.
So we were going to open the skating up, at 3, Chad?
So 10 and under, and their families can skate from 2:30 to 4:30.
Yeah, and so we did that to promote all the younger kids to come and skate. The other thing we ran into is by the time the parade's over with and we do the tree lighting ceremony, it's 7 o'clock at night, and within an hour, little kids are ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
And so we decided with opening it up earlier, gave an opportunity for families to come and to be involved in really the whole day's worth of events. And the other thing that we're doing that we did last year is we'll have several of the Disney characters there to interact with the kids and skate with them. We also have Santa and Mrs. Claus are there, and they set up. The high school's culinary group comes in, and they do a wonderful job every year. They've been partners with us every year we've done this, just like you guys have with the journalism. And they serve cookies and hot chocolate and coffee, and let the kids go through and sit on Santa Claus's lap and tell him what they want for Christmas and get pictures. And so we really try to make it a family oriented event. The other thing that we do that's a big part of Pelham is we do every year Pelham does a commemorative ornament that we design, and we give that to residents of Pelham.
I remember last year you had the PHS ambassadors going around handing
That's
them
right.
out.
We're going to do the same thing this year. And so the PHS ambassadors, and we really try to incorporate, we partner with the high school. It's an intricate part. Everybody from the band, that is the only walking element of the parade that makes it very unique. We're one of the very few nighttime parades in our area. And then, the journalism group that you guys have been involved with us since the very first year. Culinary has, the ambassadors have, and so we really try to partner with the school, and show the unity of both. The ornaments are a
Real
big
quick,
deal.
we left out one, and you know it if you're watching this broadcast. Our SGA friends are going to carry the banners.
Oh, absolutely. They carry the banner. Yeah, sure do.
Well, how important do you think it is to appeal to people from all ages? Because it sounds like this is a parade where if you're a little kid, you'll have something to do. If you're an elderly person, you'll have something to do. How important do you think that is?
I think that's crucial to any parade because honestly, Kyle, we're all kids at heart.
Yeah.
And so I think it is the one time of the year that people put their daily strifes and their daily things that they're worried about, and Christmas time can be a stressful time for a lot of families and a lot of people. And the time, it's a time just to come together and just, you see pure joy on people's faces. The first year that we did this, and even the second year, really every year, I'll be honest, Chad, he's softy, and so every year he's nearly crying when he and I ride the route during the Christmas parade. And so, it is touching.
All right, now just a minute, ex-cop over here. Don't tell me you ain't had no tear in your eye. Go ahead and tell the monitor.
Just a little tear, but.
Well, I feel like a lot of the tears comes from the hard work. There's so much preparation that goes into this that people don't know about. I think you'll have to fact check me, but I think I saw there's 65 floats this year. Can you just talk about a little bit about the preparation that goes into all of this?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of organization that goes into that, but I will tell you this, though. I want to say that the schools represent probably about 10 of those floats or so. All the schools participate in the parade, which we're really proud of. I would say probably more than half of those are businesses right here in the city of Pelham that participate in that, either headquartered here in Pelham or have customers here in Pelham. So I will say that what I love about our parade is we encourage people to decorate, and we have about 5 different awards that we give out, and everybody covets those awards every year. And so I think that creates a little bit of competition amongst the float participants, because if you've ever watched the floats and you go to some of the other neighboring cities that even have night parades, the floats are just not as elaborate as what we have here. I mean, I'm not talking it's like Macy Day's parade elaborate, but I mean, it's a close second.
Really cool.
Well, a lot of them last year with the countries that were represented last year were very creative.
Very creative, and you know, some of them were blowing smoke off of them with the fog machines, and then we had the year before, I don't know if you remember that one, but we had like a Christmas movie theme, Christmas Vacation, and all the others, Home Alone, and it's just coming up with a theme every year, I think puts us over the top because people can have something to aspire from and they're not just putting lights on their float. So I think that's special. So there's something that we'll continue to do and continue to come up with that. And I will say, you know, we still haven't decided on what the theme is for next year. So all of you watching this broadcast, if you come up with some idea that you think would be great,
please let us know.
Email us at pelhamstrong35124@gmail.com.
And that's how we decide the theme every year. Yeah, it's the
ideas
people
from other
that decide
people.
that. You know, our community decides that, and at the end, Chad and I sit down and look at that, and our committee does, and we say, hey, here are the submissions. You know, which of these do we like? And so,
I mean, you want to please the people. They're the ones that are going to be there.
You know, and I think it's important to note that, you know, this has grown so much every year. You know, when we started this, we weren't really sure what type of participation we would get, especially doing this at night. And the first year we did it, we had a tremendous rainstorm all day long, and thank goodness the good Lord stopped the rain right before the parade. But it got really windy and cold, and but we still had about 7,000 or 8,000 people attend that parade, and every year it has grown. To last year, by the PD's estimation, they estimated we had about 15,000 people. So that's the only thing I would say. You know, please come early. Get you a good parking space. There's a bunch of good places. There's no bad place to view the parade from. There's a ton of candy that's thrown. You know, we do encourage that if you do bring your kids, please keep them out of the road. That's a safety issue. And so we are always very conscious of that. You know, I think it's also noteworthy to say this year, one of the things that we do that's very unique to our parade is every year we have a, what do you call that we're doing with the honor.
Oh, the Grand Marshal?
Grand Marshal, yeah. Thank you.
I can't read his mind. I'm sorry. You know?
Yeah, the Grand Marshal. So every year we've had a Grand Marshal. This year the Grand Marshals are Tyler Watts and Lane Bearden, that are both Pelham alumni, and both were football players at the University of Alabama. Yeah. And so they're both coming back to be our Grand Marshals. And every year we always bestow that honor on someone that has had a huge impact on the Pelham community. Yeah.
And I've known Tyler Watts for a good little while. I don't know Lane. Rick knows him, family member. But you know, if you know anybody out there that was a Pelham alumni that went to Auburn, you know, let's get them on the train for next year, just to throw that plug in there.
Yeah, I definitely like you both have a lot of passion around not just the parade, but around the city of Pelham. You don't want to put it on to get the praise that people give you, but you want to please the other people. If you could, like, we have a lot of people watching, if you would want to give a message to the people out there just with like the Christmas time of the year and stuff like that.
I mean, I'll go first on that, and I would just say, come out, have fun. Like Rick said, just you know, leave your cares and your worries at home. Bring your children, your grandchildren. Just look at and see how much fun that they have. You know, I made the comment to the police when I was talking to them recently. What I love how this has grown to is about half of our police force has to work this event, and they do it with a kind heart. And what is really cool is if you'll pay attention, if you're along that route and you watch police officers that are at their stations, at their different posts, you'll see their kids right there beside them, and you'll see their wives right there beside them. And while they're working, it's still family, you know, and it's a time where you can, for, you know, here, you high school students, if you've got folks that give you a hard time or you've got stresses with exams or college or different things, it just gives you a time where you don't think about that. Like, it's just out of mind. Like, there's so much going on, sensory overload, that it just gives you a chance to be a kid again. Like Rick
That's
said.
one of the great things about Christmas. It can kind of just take all your worries away because it's about being happy and being with your family.
Right.
Well, it's a time of unity, you know, and it's a time of togetherness, and that's really what this parade does. Is it brings people together and with one mindset, and it really exposes the goodness of our community. And whether it's the people that are working the parade, as Chad alluded to, or the people that attend the parade, we started Pelham Strong to be able to give back. And to be able to do something that's not about the two of us.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I told you before we came on there, Chad and I very seldom do anything publicly that people know that we are the founders of Pelham Strong. Most people never ever know that about us, and because it's not about us. This is a whole lot bigger than us, and we didn't do this for any public recognition. We did this because it's the right thing to do. I learned a long time ago, when you get old like me, you look back on life, and it's all about minimizing your regrets in life. And this is an opportunity for us to do something that we're proud of. And we're proud of for the right reasons. It doesn't benefit us. It's a whole lot of work for the two of us. But it's just doing what is right, And that's really how he and I make every decision that we make with Pelham Strong is we just do right.
Well, yeah,
and
I
that's
think
an easy way to do it.
The whole Pelham community is very proud of y'all and thankful for what y'all have done, because it's been a great addition to Christmas time in Pelham over the past 4 years.
Well, it's the greatest time of the year.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Before we go, is there anything else y'all would like to add?
Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you for being here.
Yep, thank you for having us.
Well, we hope to see everyone at the parade tomorrow. It'll be basically an all-day event with the ice skating starting at what time?
2:32.
And the parade starting at 5. So we hope to see you all there. I'm Kyle O'Neill, joined by City Council members Chad Leverett and Rick Walsh.